everyone's been saying that a major sports star, an athlete that plays professional sports, is going to eventually come out, and that's going to basically open all the doors for all the other gay closeted athletes to come out. And I think we are now going to see that because NBA center Jason Collins has come out in a piece written for Sports Illustrated, and I'm gonna just pick out bits and pieces because I want you all to go read it because it's very well written. It's clearly something that you should be reading from his perspective in terms of you reading it, not me reading it for you. It's really good.
Powerful
It's
stuff.
powerful stuff. Yes. So if you don't know who Jason Collins is, he tells you he's a two state high school. He's played in two state high school championships, the NCAA Final Four, the Elite Eight, and and he's been in 9 playoffs in 12 NBA seasons. He's played for six teams. He's currently on the Washington Wizards, and he's appeared in two NBA Finals. Um, he even mentions there's a game called 3 Degrees of Jason Collins in the league, and if he's been your teammate, apparently you've surely been a teammate of his teammate or a teammate of that person's teammate, and it goes on, sort of like Kevin Bacon. Um, so he discusses how he came out to his aunt, who was the first person he came out to. She's a Superior Court judge in San Francisco. Uh, he's waited for 33 years to finally come out to tell someone who in his family that he's gay, and it's just an amazing story. He goes on to say how when he was younger he dated women and he got engaged, even got engaged, and he's a twin, and his brother didn't know, and he sort of realized when he was a kid that he was gay because he started to notice that while his parents brought them up great with a full appreciation of history, arts, he realized that his brother was starting to view women differently. He would have an attraction to girls in the lyrics he sang, to the Motown songs they listened to, and he just wasn't able to connect to it. And he talked about how he came out to his grandmother and how she grew up in rural Louisiana and witnessed segregation and was worried about him coming out. I mean, for those who don't think there's a connection there in terms of what these people are going through, I mean, here you have someone who's seen it and she sees that this is something that's equivalent to what segregation was. I mean, he talks about how when he left Boston in July, he was traded to the Wizards in Washington, and it was sort of then that he decided, I think this is going to be the time when I come out. He said a college classmate tried to persuade him to come out, and he felt like that wasn't the time. He didn't want to do it during the season, during the season because he didn't want to become a distraction to the other members of his team, to the NBA in general. He didn't feel like that was something that would have been good for the first player to come out, and I mean, I understand what he did, and I think it's great that he thought. I mean, this is someone who's for 33 years been thinking, and for him to come out now and say all these things, it's clear he wanted to do this on his terms and the best of terms. And this little piece of information I thought was so amazing. He chose the number. He chose the jersey number 98 when he was traded to the Wizards, and he said that number had great significance to the gay community because one of the most notorious anti-gay hate crimes occurred in 1998. Matthew Shepard, a University of Wyoming student, was kidnapped, tortured, and lashed to a prairie fence. He died 5 days after he was finally found. He said that that's what inspired him to use the number 98, and also that same year the Trevor Project was founded, an organization that provides crisis intervention and suicide prevention to kids struggling with their sexual identity. He goes on to say how it became almost unbearable just this past March for him to be closeted because of what the Supreme Court was hearing arguments for in terms of gay marriage. And he said when Obama mentioned the 1969 Stonewall riots, which launched the gay rights movement, and when Obama mentioned that in his second inaugural address, he said that's another thing that just made him want to come out. We discussed on this show that even though whatever you think of Obama, the words he says matters to other people, and I think you'll also see that not only did that mentioning of the Stonewall riots in Obama's inaugural means something to the gay community, but I think you really started to see people who may have not been so opening to the gay community finally start to realize that, maybe we have the wrong position. Um, he said how the biggest concern seems to be that gay players will behave unprofessionally in the locker room. And to that, he shuts that down in a second just by saying he's taken plenty of showers in the 12 seasons he's played basketball. And his behavior wasn't an issue before, and it won't be one now. His conduct won't change. He was a gay man for the past 12 seasons. Going forward, he's still the same man. He hasn't come out to anyone in the NBA. He says that he realized he needed to go public finally when Joe Kennedy, an old roommate from Stanford, who is now a Massachusetts congressman, told him that he marched in the Boston 2012 Gay Pride Parade. He said he's very rarely jealous of other people, but after hearing what Joe did, he felt envious. He was so proud of his friend and so angry at himself for being a closeted gay man. And he was angry because he couldn't even show up at that gay pride event to cheer on his gay friend marching in it. His straight friend marching in it, even though he's a gay man, and he would have just been involved as a spectator. It's just an amazing story. You just really have to read it. The Washington Wizards have come out and said we're extremely proud of him. This is just this article came out maybe about an hour and a half ago. They just put out this statement about 10 minutes ago saying they're proud of him. White House said they're extremely proud of him. This is big news. I think we're going to start seeing the closet doors will be opening.
It's amazing.
I mean, this is amazing.
It's really amazing. And just two quick kind of things on a retrograde note. It reminds me, a couple of months ago, Phil Jackson, legendary, Lakers coach, Bulls coach, said he never encountered a gay player the whole time he's coached the NBA. And this is the type of garbage you're up against. He played for Phil Jackson at one point.
That's one of the things.
Did he play for Phil Jackson?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
But he did mention in his closing paragraph, some people insist they've never met a gay person. But the 3 degrees of Jason Collins dictates that no NBA player can claim that anymore. And I'm going to go a step further and say nobody can claim that anymore.
Nobody. That's exactly right.
Because you know someone who's gay, whether you know that they're gay or not. You know a brother, a sister, an uncle, an aunt. There's someone in your family. There's someone in a friend of yours, a friend's family. There's someone you watch on TV. There's someone you talk to on the internet. There's someone you walk past in the streets. You know a gay person.